What's going on with it, guys? So coming back with my first film room video in honestly quite a while, but what I wanted to do in this video was basically go through Blake Bortles' preseason and kind of evaluate how he did. Now, a huge shout out to Generation Jaguar for this current film that I'm watching on NFL Game Pass. But Blake Bortles this preseason, I didn't think he did great. I didn't think he necessarily did really poor. Now, if you look by the numbers, Blake Bortles was 35 for 52, which led to a 67% completion percentage, which is obviously good. He had 416 yards. He had one rushing touchdown, but the bad part of his game was the 0 passing touchdowns to 3 interceptions. And with an offense, with a team that really caters to the run game and defense, you don't want to be turning the ball over like he did. So some good things that I thought he did, which we'll see kind of in this video, was that I think he has clear control of the offense. You can tell just by the way he's guiding the ball down the field and just with some of the pre-snap reads he's kind of doing. I like his pocket presence. He's showing good poise in the pockets when it comes to feeling pressure come in, stepping up in the pocket, and also just feeling pressure coming and being able to stand his ground, take the hit, and fire the ball away. And also taking what the defense gives him. This is a big reason why he had a 67% completion percentage. He wasn't trying to make too much happen with it. Just taking what the defense is giving him and just making those throws. Some of the bad things is like he's had some really bad decisions this game, which obviously directly led to some of his interceptions and some of his incompletions as well, which we'll kind of go over in this video. And the next two flaws that he had kind of go hand in hand. Some of the times his footwork was not clean, and when his footwork isn't clean, it leads to like a lot of inaccuracies, which when Blake Bortles is able to stand in there and really feel and really just like set his feet and throw the ball just, you can tell the throw is just a lot stronger of a throw. It's not flailing as much, and it's just a lot better. So I got 19 plays that I'm going to show you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. It's going to be a pretty long video. Now this play right here, it's going to be kind of a fade route to Marquise Lee. You're going to see kind of like some man-on-man coverage. He's going to look off the safety back here, which is good, and then he's going to look right, and he's going to basically fire out to Marquise Lee. Now this throw, it really wasn't all that accurate. I don't have too much of a problem with his footwork, even though I would like to see him like step into this throw a little bit more instead of just kind of flailing it up. I'd rather this little like loop pass kind of be more like close to the end zone when you throw like that. But you're gonna see this ball is placed like right there. I mean, you'd rather see this out about 4 feet further, so out and over, so like really only Marquise Lee can touch it. But not a very accurate throw, but you definitely like to see him clean that up going forward. Let's go to this next play. This next play is one of my favorite plays. It's basically this shows kind of his poise in the pocket. You're gonna see right here, we don't have Jeremy Parnell playing this game, so we have the dreidel in here, Josh Wells, that just goes in here and gets just beat on this little edge rush. But Blake Bortles is able to stand in there. We'll go back to it real quick. But Blake Bortles is basically able to stand in a pocket. He feels the pressure coming. He can feel it coming. He absorbs this hit. You see how he kind of backs away a little bit, but he's still able to like fire this ball off. He wasn't able to set his feet very well, so the ball kind of wobbles a little bit. But this is a 3rd down play, and he's able to get it right to D.D. Westbrook. So it's a great play. I mean, it was probably one of my favorite plays by him of the preseason, just to move the ball on the sticks. And this first drive by the Jaguars, this New Orleans Saints game, this is the very first game of the preseason. So they only had one drive, but that drive was pretty successful. It was like 15 plays, over 70 yards, and it led to a Blake Bortles rushing touchdown. So that's good from this game. So I'm showing you 2 plays from the Saints game, and now we'll go ahead and go on to the Vikings game. Now this next play was one of those plays that looked a lot worse when you actually saw it live as opposed to when you watched the replay. This was the ball that was basically almost intercepted by this defensive back kind of covering D.D. Westbrook. You'll see as Blake Bortles steps back, throws the ball. Yeah, you'll see it's basically right into the chest of the defensive back, and you're sitting there kind of going, you know, what the heck. But when you rewatch this play, you'll see D.D. Westbrook, like once he'll basically make this break right here, right there, and then this is when Blake Bortles starts to throw the ball. But you'll see D.D. Westbrook basically slip on his route, and then that's going to make it go right into the chest of this defensive player. So, you know, if D.D. Westbrook actually does stay up this route, it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens, because, you know, I don't know how well thrown this like ball really was, but yeah, you'll see some slip right there. The ball kind of goes out here. I mean, you would think that would definitely go for reception if DD stands up for it. So, you know, that's kind of a mulligan play, as they were doing a little bit of a tip drill right here. It wasn't intercepted, so yeah, I mean, it's just DD's got to kind of stand up on this route. Now this next play gets a little bit uglier. This is where basically Harrison Smith reads the eyes of Blake Bortles, and he's able to kind of come in here and get this interception. Now you're going to see at the beginning of this play, there's going to be a lot of pressure coming over here from the edge. So Blake Bortles knows there's going to be an area of the field that is open, and he's going to immediately see, look, D.D. Westbrook's right here, and he's going to be, you know, he's open right in the middle of the field all by himself. But he kind of stares him down, and then Harrison Smith just simply reads Blake Bortles' eyes and makes the interception. Now this isn't a bad place to throw it, it's just bad timing, because where I'd like to see him throw it is like right up, like he knows when he's going to make this break, so I'd throw it right about here, you know. And then so once he makes this break, it's basically going to be right, you know, I'd like to see it, you know, right in his hands right there. Then he has all this kind of room to run. But this is just a late throw. D.D. Westbrook basically already makes his break by the time Blake actually throws it, and it's just not very good timing, you know. And then Harrison Smith, just one of the best safeties in the league, just able to simply read his eyes and come up with the easier interception. So this is definitely one of the worst plays one of the bad plays by Blake Bortles. I mean, he kind of sees the pressure's coming, gets rid of it real quick, and then it's obviously intercepted. So in really bad territory, obviously. But luckily for us, the Malik Jackson did force. It was either Malik Jackson or Yannick Ngakoue forced a fumble in the next play, so we got the ball right back. So with this next play, there's some good and there's some bad about it. Now Blake Bortles immediately reads something, so he's basically calling out the Mike linebacker, and you're going to see this play. He drops back. He feels the pressure from Daniel Hunter, does a really good job of stepping up basically in the pocket. But look, he has basically this whole area by himself, and look at the way he's throwing this ball. I'd like to see him, you know, look, his right foot is forward. You know, I'd like to see him set his feet and really just fire this ball. Now, it wasn't a bad throw. I mean, it was a pretty decent throw, so maybe he was kind of rushing a little bit because he knew the window for this throw was basically closing. But, you know, you'd like to maybe see this ball be a little bit, you know, you'll see it's right there. It kind of hits the guys. You know, Niles Paul could have potentially made this catch. We'll see if I can go back and rewatch this. You'll see Niles Paul could potentially make this catch. You know, it is right there, but at the same time, man, you know, it could have been a little bit better of a throw. I would have liked to see Blake Bortles just kind of reset, set his feet a little better, and make this strike. So, you know, not too bad of a play. It was good coverage by Kendricks, I'll give him that, but you know, just something I'd like to see Blake Bortles maybe improve on. Now, Niles Paul had a pass interference that play, so you know, this will bring up a 1st and 20. Now, this is an example of kind of taking what the defense is giving you. You'll kind of see DJ Chark go in motion over here to the right, and Blake Bortles is going to notice, hey, there's 3 linebackers right there, and the cornerback is playing way out of this zone, so it's going to be wide open for Leonard Fournette to basically get this play. You know, he's going to obviously read the cornerback's way up there. He drops back a little bit, so it's going to be an indication of maybe like a cover 3 as the cornerbacks are kind of dropping back. And yeah, you'll see Fournette this play, you know, just wide open in the flat. So that's good recognition by Blake. Good job of taking what the defense is giving you instead of just forcing a ball downfield. Now, this next play is one reason why some of the players started gaining respect for Blake Bortles, and why kind of a lot of big guys respect him, is just this his ability to run the ball and just put his shoulder down and take on hits. He runs for like a 14-yard gain right here. It's not necessarily something you want to see in the preseason, your starting quarterback come out there and run it, but I mean, obviously he has some athletic ability. He's able to cut up field and get a 14-yard gain out of this. So then, the very next play after this, we were able to punch it in for a touchdown with Leonard Fournette. So, you kind of cringe when you see your quarterback takes these kind of hits, but at the end of the day, man, it didn't hurt him, so we're good. We're all good to go there. Now this next play is going to be an out route to Marquise Lee. It's another example of kind of taking what the defense is giving you. You're going to basically see this cornerback play way off of Marquise Lee, so he's able to kind of look right. I liked his footwork this play. I mean, granted the ball is kind of low, but that's just how he's gonna throw it. But you'll see this this is one of those examples of good footwork that leads to like a good pass, a good strong pass. We'll go back and like kind of watch his footwork this play. Yeah, you'll see these cornerbacks backing out, so he knows this whole area is going to be open. So you'll see Blake Bortles this play. He drops back. Watch the weight transfer off of his back leg into his front leg and fire the ball, and you'll see he throws the ball before Marquise Lee even makes this break. I mean, this is just good timing. This is one of those things that they practice all the time at practice to get down. And that's a third down conversion, a third and long, third and 11, get your first down. So a good job of reading the defense, taking what the defense is giving you. Good job, good footwork this play, and good accurate pass by Blake Bortles. So this is what you want to see more of out of Blake this season. So now we will go ahead and move on to preseason week 3 against the Falcons. This is when the starters kind of played the most. They played the whole entire first half, then one drive in the third quarter before we don't see them until week 1 again. Obviously they didn't play at all in the week 4 game. So this game, Blake Bortles, he started off pretty bad, honestly, but I really liked the way he did finish. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into this. Now this first play is the interception, obviously to the cornerback guarding. I believe it was Moncrief that he was guarding. But you'll see Blake Bortles kind of drops back, fires, and it gets tipped up by this defensive back and like intercepted. So this is one of those plays that you initially, you don't like it initially, but when you look back, you kind of see why it happened. Now it is kind of a loaded box, so that's going to indicate man coverage. Blake Bortles is going to read the middle linebacker to kind of see what he does, and you're going to see the linebacker. He's just going to kind of sit in his route. So one of two things is going to happen this play. This linebacker is either going to follow Moncrief as he's kind of playing the robber position, and everybody else is in man as a free safety is playing this back zone back here. And if he follows Moncrief, then Safarian Jenkins is going to be wide open. But since it's Safarian Jenkins, then Moncrief is going to be open on this little slant route. But what this cornerback does is he basically breaks off of his route and comes back and tips this ball up. But you'll see kind of the timing of this route is really thrown off just right at the beginning, because you'll see Moncrief, he's going to go ahead and make his cut, and what you want to do, you want to get this guy to clear out. You just want him to sprint as far across the field as he kind of can, which will basically get this middle linebacker to follow this guy playing man to follow him and just leave Safarian Jenkins wide open in the middle of the field. But you'll see this linebacker come in and kind of hit him a little bit. That's going to throw off his timing. One thing that this cornerback realizes is Moncrief isn't even looking at the quarterback, and Blake Bortles basically, and he's going to know that there's this linebacker in there giving him help. He reads the eyes of the quarterback. He sees he's throwing it right here, so he's going to make a good play and come back and basically tip this ball up. And then, that's what you want to do as a defensive back. You want to tip the ball out because there's going to be more defensive backs back here than wide receivers. And obviously, Elam was pretty opportunistic. He comes in there and gets the pretty easy interception right in his lap for him. So we're going to get another look at this play from kind of the end zone view. We'll see what's going on kind of here. And you'll see this linebacker. He's going to sense Dante Moncrief coming through here. And like I said, this defensive back is basically reading. I think his name is Alfred. He's basically reading Blake Bortles' eyes. He makes a really good play and basically drops off his coverage. If Moncrief, man, if he doesn't get blocked a little bit right here and slows down his route, I mean, he's about going to be about 3-4 yards up the field, and this play most likely doesn't happen because you're going to see Safarian Jenkins is wide open this play. If he, it throws him right into a spot where he's going to be able to get it, but obviously the ball gets tipped up. So, I wouldn't necessarily put this one on Blake. Like, I would just put it more as a great play by the defense. The Alford made a good play of breaking off the route, tipping the ball up for an interception. So, just great play by the Falcons defense, I'd say. Now, the next play after the interception was one of my favorite plays from Blake, but it's obviously a really just shitty play because this is the play that Marquise Lee actually does get injured on. Now, we'll go back and kind of replay this. I don't want to look at Marquise Lee get injured too much, but it's going to be a loaded box, up in here. So Blake Bortles is going to basically read that. He's going to drop back, and you'll see the linebackers. One good thing about Leonard Fournette, man, I'm going to go replay this a little bit, is just, defense's game plan. They say, okay, let's go ahead and stop Leonard Fournette. And, one thing that drove me crazy about last season, especially at the beginning of last season, was when we'd keep running Fournette and, we'd run him on first and second down, and third down would come, and we'd do a play action to, like, Yeldon or Ivory or something like that. Somebody that, really wasn't a feature set of our offense. Because it didn't trick the defense at all, but you're going to see here as they kind of do this play action to Leonard Fournette, all the linebackers drop down, and they're over here playing kind of a zone. So what that's going to do is, look, it's going to leave this wide open, and, he's able to, Bortles does a really good job of just feeding it right into the middle of this zone area, and just right over the outstretched arms of the linebacker and get it to Marquise Lee. Now, this goddamn safety decides to go right at his knees when, I think he could have gone a little bit higher, but, whatever. That's an argument for another time. But, yeah, I like this play by Blake, man. It's a good job of feeding it right into the middle of the zone. It looks like they're playing like a cover 3 maybe. Man, I don't know. They played the Falcons played a lot of man this game, so, they were playing a lot of man, so it was probably man. I haven't really dissected that part of it too much, but that's kind of, I like this play from Blake. Obviously, I didn't like the Marquise Lee and torn his ACL and just fucking his knee up, but shit happens. Now, this next play is going to be a deep ball to Dante Moncrief, and I'd like to see Blake Bortles have better mechanics this game. Just you'll see him this play, I should say. You'll see him this play. Blake Bortles kind of, he definitely feels the pressure coming, but man, I'd like him to kind of stand up in this pocket, and you'll see all the whole throw is just off of his back foot. I'd like to see him maybe just stand in here, be able to take the hit a little bit, and not just kind of throw this one up. And one thing about this play is, the pressure did affect it a little bit, because you'll see it's a single high safety. So because of the pressure, you'd like to have Blake Bortles be able to look right and kind of look off the safety. You'll kind of see he does that a little bit at the beginning, but he feels the pressure coming, so he knows, okay, I got to go ahead and unload this. And that's when the safety's able to kind of come in here and make a play on the ball, but it just wasn't a very accurate throw. A lot of it, I think, has to do with footwork and stuff like that, but his footwork was probably a little bit messed up just because there was so much pressure coming off the right end of the ball. Now, I thought this next play was another really good play by Blake Bortles. Now, it's not necessarily the spectacular play because, I'll go ahead and let this play out a little bit. It's basically just a pass to Bohannon in the flats, but you'll see Blake Bortles, this play, what he's going to need to do is he's going to read this edge linebacker here. Now, what is he going to do? He's either going to maybe like blitz or play back in coverage, but if he blitzes, he knows that Tommy Bohannon is most likely going to be open. It's going to be man coverage, and Tommy Bohannon is most likely going to be open in the flats, which is exactly what happens. The linebacker, I shouldn't have done that, but the linebacker comes in here and he does blitz, so he knows, okay, I'm going to be able to shove it off to Bohannon real quick, and you'll see it happens. He comes down, rushes, and Bohannon's open right in the flat. So good play. Usually when they blitz, it's going to be man coverage, and I think Safarian Jenkins kind of chipped this linebacker right over here. We'll go ahead and replay this. I was going to have something scripted for you guys, but this is kind of my hobby. I don't really have much time to do all this, so I figure I just throw this together for you guys. It's kind of go in order, but yeah, flats is wide open for Bohannon. Good good read by Blake Bortles, I thought, and go for a good first down. Now I believe this next play was the longest kind of reception of the preseason for the Jaguars, as Dante Moncrief kind of takes this slant route super far up the field. I believe it was like a 40-something yard reception, but you're gonna see right out the bat, Blake Bortles basically, we'll go ahead and play this back. I'll show you the formation a little bit. You're going to see the strong side of the field. We're going to have 2 wide receivers over here and a tight end. And over here, you're just going to have 1 wide receiver with the running back in the backfield. So the linebacker's just going to basically more pay attention to over here. And, there's a strong side of the field, and that's what's going to kind of open up this play. You'll see the linebacker. He's over here kind of seeing what the hell's going on over there. And then, this linebacker right here is basically playing man coverage on Yeldon. And Bortles has time to basically sit in here, deliver a strike. You know what I mean? I liked his footwork this play, just right into Marquise Lee, and he's got an easy, or not Marquise Lee, but Dante Moncrief, and he gets a really long reception from the play. So it was a good read. You'll see right when basically this cornerback passes, he's going to make this throw right into Dante Moncrief, and let's go for a Jacksonville first down. Now this next play is another example of kind of taking what the defense gives you. You're going to see Blake Bortles drop back. He doesn't really notice anybody open deep. He's got the mental clock in his head, so he knows that, okay, I got this check down guy right here. Yeldon fires it in there to him, throws a really good strike, and it's good for a 5-yard gain. So, it brings up a 2nd and 5. Just, sometimes you've seen Blake Bortles in the past kind of make too much happen. And like I said earlier, man, with our team, you want to cater to the defense, not put them in bad situations, and just be able to pound the ball and just gradually work it upfield. And that's what I expect out of Blake Bortles this year. Not necessarily a superstar year, but I definitely think Blake Bortles can lead a team into the Super Bowl. And just like that last play, this next play is just a good example of kind of taking what the defense is going to give you. You're going to see right at the beginning of this play, they're kind of designing some kind of, looks like some kind of exotic blitz, but you're going to wind up seeing some guys come back in coverage. So it's only a 4-man rush, but you're going to see Leonard Fournette just kind of slip out here. Blake Bortles is going to immediately read that. He stands in the pocket a little bit longer for it to get a little more open, and he's going to fire it to Leonard Fournette for a first down pickup on a 3rd and 4. So, like the play, like the read, and it leads to Jags first down, so it's all good there. Now this is another one of my favorite plays of the preseason. Jaguars are put into a 2-minute situation here. Blake Bortles drops back. He gets a lot of time, man. This is the exact kind of pocket you want to get. He's going to throw this ball to Safarian Jenkins, and this is one of those plays that can only develop if you actually do have time to throw it, and this is one of those plays that develop pretty well. Now you're going to see Safarian Jenkins is kind of on a mismatch when it comes to a safety and Keanu Neal covering him. You're going to see this Leonard Fournette basically clear out this area over there as and that's going to leave Safarian Jenkins on a 1-on-1 with Keanu Neal. So it's a good play, just a good throw and catch right there, and just good accurate throw by Blake. And let's go ahead, and I want to review his footwork real quick just to see how that looked. The same in a clean pocket. Blake drops back. You're gonna see the weight. The footwork isn't all that great there. He is a little bit square, but the ball does get there. You're gonna see basically the end does kind of get a little bit of pressure at the end, so that kind of probably disrupts his footwork a little bit. I wish I had the end zone copy, but they don't release it for preseason. But yeah, he's gonna see this pressure come in here. He throw this ball. It's pretty accurate for not having the best of footwork. So, good little throw and catch by our guy Blake to ASJ. So I'm going back a little bit in this game just because I forgot this play, but this is another one of those bad decisions that you do not want to happen. Now Blake Bortles feels the pressure coming. The pocket's kind of like fucking up in here, so he's kind of having to improvise a little bit. But there's times where, man, you got to take a sack, and this is one of those plays. Because watch what he does. He just flips it out here to just open in this area. Then it turns TJ Yeldon trying to look like Jalen Ramsey out here, forcing an incompletion. And you know what I mean? Sometimes, especially with younger quarterbacks, they try to make these plays happen. You just kind of have to, maybe you can throw, I don't know if I'd make that throw, but there just really wasn't much going on here. just step in the pocket. I mean, just take the sack. But you know, it's a learning curve. Just don't do this in a regular game, man. So we are on the final 2 plays of this film review. I appreciate you guys for all sticking around with me. If you like the video, be sure to hit the shit out of that like button for more film reviews. But we're gonna see right here. This is another play I really like by Blake Bortles. It's another example of kind of taking what the defense gives you. Now he's gonna see it's gonna be a loaded box, so he knows there's gonna be man-on-man coverage right at the bottom. So he's gonna say, okay, if you're gonna challenge me like that, I'm gonna go ahead and take you. So he's gonna trust Donte Moncrief to kind of go on this hitch route. You're gonna see when Blake Bortles throws, it's before he makes this little turn. So once he turns around, Donte Moncrief is able to catch it, and I believe that's gonna be like a 2nd and 2. I don't know if this is a first down. It looks like an 8-yard gain, but yeah, I mean, it's good little read recognition. He shows good arm strength and just reading the defense a little bit. Drops back, just once again, good footwork, fires out the back foot, transfers the weight to the front foot, and a good accurate throw by Blake. So you know, this is another one of the plays that I just wanted to highlight that I did like out of Blake. So I'd like to say we're gonna end this on a high note, but that's not the case, as Blake Bortles makes a pretty bad throw out here to D.D. Westbrook on an out route. Now there are a few. I mean, it's just a bad throw. I mean, this, you know, it's not necessarily a bad read, just a bad throw. Now, one thing that was highlighted a little bit later that we see from this other view is, like, I think there were a couple of bad routes that were kind of run. I think it's in slow mo. Yeah, I don't know why it's going so slow, but yeah. Let me go on and replay this a little bit. But yeah, you'll see Donte Moncrief kind of down here. He doesn't sell the route very well, as you're going to see him, you know, the cornerback's going to play off of D.D. Westbrook, and like he knows that he's back here looking back at the quarterback, so the cornerback's able to just sit on this route and watch it come into his chest. And you know, you'll also see D.D. Westbrook this route. It looks like he kind of stops running right after he makes this break. Like right about here, you'll see he slows down, then speeds up, then doesn't even try to kind of get a hand on the ball. So, you know, most of the blame is definitely on Blake Bortles, but, you know, not a very good route by Donte Moncrief. And, you know, I don't know if D.D. Westbrook is supposed to kind of run full steam on that play, but, you know, you'll see Doug run over here like, what the fuck you doing, man? And Blake Bortles explained himself. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of this film review. I mean, like I was saying, man, I didn't think Blake Bortles did super tremendous, but I did like what I saw of him, man. Like, you know, this, like I've been saying, this offense is catered around the run game, around the defense. We have to limit the turnovers by Blake, man. He can't have those interceptions, but you know, I don't like to read too much into the preseason. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks around the league did not do very well. I mean, if you look at the quarterbacks that played the Jags, they were like 8 for 20 or something like that, and they didn't do very well. But this is preseason, man. I wouldn't read too much into it. It's a fresh year. We'll start really judging Blake week 1 of the regular season against the Giants. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching my video. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.